Welcome to the Sharkpreneur podcast with Kevin Harrington and Seth Greene. Kevin Harrington is the inventor of the infomercial, one of the original sharks from the hit TV show Shark Tank, and has generated over $5 billion in TV and digital direct response sales. Seth Greene is the world's first trusted authority on cutting-edge direct response marketing, a best-selling author, and the only 3-time Marketer of the Year nominee. On the podcast, Kevin and Seth interview sharkpreneurs who share straight talk on what it takes to explode your business.
49 faces looked to him in triumph. Over the last 12 months, they had each taken turns and promoted his business for a week at a time, driving over $987,342 in revenue. What if you had a network of 50 centers of influence who promoted your business every week for a year? Grab your copy of the #1 Amazon best-selling book, The Ultimate Guide to Growing Your Business with a Podcast, at 33% off the Amazon price by going to ultimatepodcastbook.com. Again, that website for 33% off the Amazon price is ultimatepodcastbook.com. Welcome to the podcast. This is your co-host, Seth Greene. Today, I'm joined by Marketing Max from marketingmax.io and growthdaily.com. Marketing Max, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me, Seth. Good to be here.
Awesome. We're happy to have you. Let's go back in time just a little bit. How did you get started?
So I graduated college and immediately went to work on Wall Street. And I spent about a year and a half on Wall Street and realized finance is not for me and the finance path is not for me. I ended up bombing the Series 7 exam, funny enough.
I passed that about 20 some years ago.
You're a better test taker than me. So yeah, bombed the Series 7 exam. And then almost exactly 2 weeks later, one of the clients that I was helping raise an investment round for asked me to run her Facebook ads. I had no experience running Facebook ads really, but she said, "You're a millennial. I feel like you could figure it out. And every agency I hire sucks. And you're pretty good at helping me pitch my company to investors. Why don't you help me pitch my company to customers?" And so she gave me about $2,000 in ad spend. I watched a couple of YouTube videos, poked around the Facebook ads manager and launched a campaign. And in about 2 weeks, I turned her $2,000 of ad spend into $20,000 in collected revenue for her business. I was immediately hooked on Facebook ads, Google ads, performance marketing, landing page optimization, the whole 9 yards. And I signed up a couple other clients, the investment bank at a small monthly retainer, ended up quitting my job, never really looked back, hung up my suit and tie, never wanted to take the Series 7 exam again. Over the next 5 years, I built a Facebook and Google ads agency, one of the highest performing in terms of return on investment and ad spend and everything else. And then I sold that business about 3 years ago to a private equity fund. And I've been building the Marketing Max brand and a handful of different marketing related software businesses and services businesses since. I'm sure there's a lot more detail and boring things in there, but that's the quick story in a nutshell.
That is not boring at all. That is fascinating. And I am sure the longer version of that story should be in a book somewhere if it isn't already. So let's talk a little bit about, what is most exciting to you right now? Which business has the most of your time and energy?
That's a good question. I, on purpose, design all of these businesses to not really take any of my time or energy. My main business that has the majority of the revenue coming in is my newsletter business. So I run this business called growthdaily.com. We have 3 different newsletters. I know you have a bunch of newsletters yourself that I would love to get into, but yeah, we have 3 different newsletters. The main one goes out to 120,000 people every single day. We have sponsors in that newsletter, like huge companies from HubSpot and Notion and MailChimp to Tony Robbins is a big sponsor of ours. And then we also work with a lot of agencies because my audience is full of entrepreneurs and marketers looking to hire agencies. And so we get a lot of, random, not house name brand marketing agencies that work with startups and mid-sized companies to sponsor us. So that's the main business. And then what I've learned is, there's no real predictability in that business. And because we have 3 different newsletters, we have 8 ad spots to sell every single day. Unless you're the Super Bowl, you don't have 100% fill rate at your retail price per ad. So I've started to fill in our unsold inventory with my own products, my own services. And that's what I'm mentioning before. We have an SEO agency, we have a newsletter consulting agency, or team. I don't like calling it an agency, but team. We run Facebook ads for a handful of companies. We have a bunch of different products and services that we offer Some of the people who read my newsletter don't even know that I'm behind it. Some of them do. And we have a ghostwriting service as well. So yeah, we have a bunch of different products and services that we advertise to the Marketing Max audience.
That is awesome. How did you start that? And how, more importantly, how the heck did you grow it?
Yeah. So after I sold my agency, I started creating content online, primarily on Twitter and TikTok as Marketing Max. And like every other beginner creator, I thought, okay, why don't I launch a course? And so I basically looked at my DMs and I looked at all the questions that everyone asked me, and I created a course for $200. I launched it to my audience on Twitter and TikTok, and I royally flopped the course. I guess there's a trend of me royally flopping things. I think I had 10,000 Twitter followers at the time. By the way, can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I can hear you
Okay.
fine.
Okay, there's no background noise. Sorry. Perfect. So yeah, I had about 10,000 Twitter followers at the time, 50,000 TikTok followers. I think I got like 15 people or 20 people to purchase the course on launch day, which was really demoralizing for me because I'm Marketing Max. I'm supposed to be, a good marketer, and I didn't know how to do that. And that's when I realized, a couple different things. Number one, there's a bunch of different parts of marketing. I'm really good at ads and landing pages and optimization and copywriting and messaging. I'm maybe not the best at launches. There's a whole skill set around, launching products and services. And that's also when I learned that I don't love courses as a business model for a bunch of different reasons. And so I met with one of my advisors and one of my mentors, and I said, dude, this course flopped. Like, what do you think I should do? And he said, don't sell a course, start a newsletter. And I said, why is that? And he said, because when you post on TikTok and when you post on Twitter, only 10% of your followers see your content. And it's really, really, really hard to get them off of the platform to buy things, especially if it's like a $200 course and there's no sales call. So I, that afternoon, bought the domain growthhacksweekly.com, and I started sending that Sunday. I think it was like a Wednesday. And I sent my first edition that Sunday to my small list of 2,000 or 3,000 people that I had just collected from, my agency and over the years. And I sent out my first Growth Hacks Weekly edition. I think we're up to like 200 now or something. I don't know the exact number, but we've been sending every single Sunday since. And about 4 or 5 months in, I was generating about $15,000 a month in revenue from ad sales with a weekly newsletter to 10,000 subscribers. I had grown it in about 4 months to 10,000 subscribers, primarily on the back of Twitter and TikTok. And I was fully booked out for months and months and months in advance. And I thought, this is a really interesting business. It's kind of like a billboard business, right? I need more inventory. I only have, 3 ad spots to sell every single week. So I launched a daily newsletter that I send out every morning called Growth Daily. And that's the growthdaily.com domain. That's the name of the company. And then we've launched a handful of different newsletters since then. The other main one now goes out in the evenings. It's called the CEO Report. That's the one that goes out to about 120,000 people. And I've just been growing the list primarily on the back of Facebook ads and my own content and ads and other newsletters for the last almost 2 years now. It'll be 2 years in January.
Well, happy almost anniversary. That is
Thank you.
Absolutely incredible. What has surprised you the most?
What surprised me the most? Probably the lack of sophistication from ad buyers.
Okay, tell me more.
Well, I think a lot of people who buy ads and newsletters are not performance marketers, and they don't know exactly what landing page to drive traffic to. They don't know how many clicks equals how many conversions or signups or users generated or leads generated or whatever it is. And so I think there's just a huge lack of sophistication around purchasing newsletter ads. I don't think there's really any education around it either, which is probably why there's no sophistication. Not trying to be cute. That's just the words that popped in my head. But yeah, no one really like understands newsletter ads and how to buy them properly and how to monetize them properly. A lot of companies come to us, even huge, like we've had a publicly traded company come to us and they said, we'd like to buy whatever, $20,000 worth of ads in your newsletter, and we're going to send all the traffic to the homepage. And I said, happy to take your money, but I think you guys should set up a landing page. And especially if you're going to advertise in Growth Daily, that's written in the Marketing Max tone of voice. And so because I'm a user of your product, what if we put, Marketing Max's favorite XYZ tool to accomplish whatever? We'll get a lot more conversions. And especially if you have a big start a free trial button on the landing page, your homepage, there's no button to start a free trial. right? It's like hidden and it's buried. And so like, why don't we make a better landing page? Like, no, we'll just send it to the homepage. And then we run ads and they say, hey, we didn't get a lot of signups. It's like, well, your landing page is not optimized for signups, and no wonder. And we warned you about this. And oh, by the way, we offered even to create the landing page for you and put it in Marketing Max's tone of voice or recommendation. Not that like my recommendation is so valuable or people really listen to me, but just from the context of, you see an ad in a newsletter written in Marketing Max's tone of voice, and you land a landing page saying Marketing Max likes this, right? 1, 2, 3 little extra points of dopamine in your head to be like, oh, I should give this a try, and just make the landing page a lot easier. So I think sophistication in terms of like what they're buying and where they're sending the traffic has royally shocked me. A lot of people are like, oh, I want 3 ads, and we want 3 ads in this newsletter. And okay, who's your target audience? Our target audience is XYZ. Well, you'd be better off getting 2 ads in this other newsletter. You'll get a lot more clicks for the same amount of cost, and you'll get in front of more of your target audience. Well, no, we want 3 ads. Well, why do you want 3? Well, we just think 3 is a good number. It's like, this is not how we buy media these days. It's not how you should buy media if you want to get the highest ROI on your investment. So that's something I've been royally shocked by. I don't expect everyone to know CPC and CPL and CVR and all these different terms, but I certainly would expect if someone's dropping, whatever our average is, 10, 20K in newsletter sponsorships, I would certainly think that they have a good plan and have really thought through how they're going to capitalize on their investment and really convert all this traffic that they're buying. Because at the end of the day, anytime you're spending money on ads, whether it's, I should say on digital ads, right? Whether it's Facebook ads, Google ads, ads on TikTok, ads in a newsletter, you're buying traffic, you're buying people coming to your website. And so if you don't have a plan to capitalize on that investment, a way to convert all of those people who are coming into users or leads or booked calls or whatever it might be, you're not going to be happy with your investment.
Amen to that. You've achieved so much success. What's your biggest challenge now?
Oh, my biggest challenge is shiny object syndrome. Because I try to optimize all of my businesses to work the least amount of hours as possible of me on each business. I have a lot of time, and so it's really easy for me to think that starting another business or another project or another service or whatever is a lot easier than it is. And so I buy a domain, I create a landing page, I run a few ads in the newsletter, and then I'm like, oh, wait, I didn't think through X, Y, or Z. For all the other ones that are currently live, the ghostwriting, the SEO, the newsletter agency, all of those, I kind of made it over the shiny object hump. I figured it out. But shiny object syndrome for me will be the only thing standing between me and accomplishing my crazy ambitious
your
lifestyle and revenue goals.
your passion is obvious. What do you like best about what you're doing?
I like solving problems. That's like my favorite thing in the world to do, and the fact that I get to do it via marketing, which is both right brain and left brain, is the best, the absolute best for me.
Awesome. For who's an ideal advertiser or client for the business?
Ideal advertisers are anyone who want to reach companies between $100,000 in annual revenue to, let's call it $25 million in annual revenue, who have something to sell them in any way, shape, or form, whether that's lead generation services, whether that's accounting services, whether that's software, coaching services, whatever it is. If you want to reach founders and CEOs who are running companies between $100,000 in revenue and $25 million in revenue, you can get in front of my audience pretty easily.
Awesome. And for our folks who want to learn more about that and all things Marketing Max, where are the best places for them to go?
They can go to marketingmax.io to learn more about me, or Twitter. I spend most of my time on Twitter. My friends know that sometimes they'll get a faster response if they DM me on Twitter, and they don't even have a Twitter account, than if they text me. So DM me with any questions or thoughts that you have related to marketing or newsletters or anything of the sort.
Awesome. Well, this has been Seth Greene from Sharkpreneur with Marketing Max. Marketing Max, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me, Seth.
Thanks everybody for watching or listening. We will talk to you or see you next time.
Why do so many businesses struggle while others seem to explode overnight? Do you wish you had the secret to this type of exponential growth? Now, I've scaled more than 20 businesses to over $100 million, and it's not just luck. In my new book with Mark Tim, Mentor to Millions, you'll learn the repeatable framework I use in all my business ventures for massive success. Order at kevinmentor.com and get over $1,000 in bonuses. Head to kevinmentor.com.